Hello budget besties, it's me, Zero Based Budget Girl, and welcome to today's video. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Zero Based Budget Girl. I use the family called YNAB. I use the program called YNAB to balance my family's budget. We are a single income household. My husband is active duty in the Air Force. I stay at home with our baby, and we also have my husband also has two kiddos from his previous marriage who don't live with us. They live with their mother in another state. And we are currently debt-free and trying to stay that way. So today I'm going to be going over our February closeout, wrap up, see how we did this month, or I guess last month, because now we're in March. So happy March, everyone. And yeah, so anyway, if that's something you're into, grab a snack, sit back, relax, and let's get into today's video. All right, so I just entered in a couple of transactions to finish up the month of February. Not too much has changed since our last video. A couple things here, a couple things there, nothing crazy. We just had a couple of our credits come through on our American Express card to take care of our Disney Plus and Walmart Plus subscriptions. So there's that. I had to grab some stuff for my dog, so I spent $15 at the BX. I donated $25 to a charity of my interest. We grabbed some pizza for $26. Our Nintendo online subscription came out for $35. Spent $55 at the commissary. $85 we spent having a anniversary dinner. Our anniversary is in the month of February. So we went to a winery in town, had dinner. Another $10 on groceries, but this is actually going towards March. I spent this yesterday. Our insurance came out as well yesterday for March. My husband grabbed some booze and snacks, which is applied to March. Grabbed something for the baby at the store for March. Transferred some money to our savings account. Kids got their money transferred out of our account into my husband's other high yield savings account that's not tracked in YNAB, so $100 for them for March. And then child support money was sent over to the kids' mother, $600 for that for the month of March. So yeah, those are a few things I put in while I was away. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's flip over to our Reflect tab and look at our spending for February. For the month of February, we spent $3,178.83, which I think is a fairly low spend month for us. Kind of. Well, it's hard. Well, because before we used to have our high yield savings account. Like $1,200 got transferred out of our account every month. So it came up looking like a spending, but it wasn't really, but we're not moving that money out anymore. So I don't know, maybe this is like an average amount of spent. I'm not sure. Anyway, but if we look at our categories, I'm gonna actually put this into groups. So we spent most of our money, 28% went towards the kids this month. We break that down, $600 for child support, $238 for my dog. She went to the vet a couple times, she went to the vet last month and this month too. Anyway, she had to get her blood work and stuff done, so that's what that $207 is. And then just getting her some other just little things here and there for the month. So puppy got a lot spent on her this month, and then baby. Actually chilled on baby. I didn't get too much for baby. Baby got $50 spent on him this month. So $890 on the kids. Oops, wrong button. And then next up is our fun money, which, oh my God, 50% of our fun money was me spending on Pokemon cards. I already talked about this in my last video. I need my ass full for spending nearly $400 on Pokemon cards. But you know, it was, like I said, it's a special month. It was a special month. Some cool new sets came out. So it was a high spend month for the hobby. I don't intend on spending this much coming up in this next month. So that should be definitely way down next time. Next month. $204 spent on family time, which I feel like this is kind of high, but we also, I don't know, February is kind of a a busy-ish month. My husband's birthday's in February, our anniversary is in February, and then of course like Valentine's Day. So I feel like we tend to spend a little bit more going out and doing things in February because of all those three things happening. But most all of this is dining out, really, is what it really is. These are all food places. Sorry about the jets flying over. Next up was 12% spent on dining out, which essentially these are the same thing. These are the same thing, really. $97 went towards dining out. Again, all food. Same thing as family time. My fun money, I spent $76 of my fun money. Some of it was getting little snacks here and there. I got a game, snacks. I bought a planner. But yeah, mostly big activities going on there. $13.98 spent on booze and snacks. And then my husband spent $2.50 of his fun money this month at the snack bar at work because he needed an energy drink. And we didn't have any in the fridge. And he works a midnight shift right now. So he goes into work at midnight and gets off at 8 a.m. And so when he was going into work, like all the stores on base were closed. So he really needed an energy drink. So he bought one from the snack bar at work. Yes, so that's that. Oops, wrong button. Jesus. Okay. Next up was a household thing. 70% of our money went to household, so $539 spent on the house in some sort of way, whether it's bills or like literal stuff for the house. So $177 spent on house stuff. So it's cleaning supplies. Most of this is exactly this. Those are cleaning supplies for sure, right there. Both of those two charges. This is probably mostly all. This is probably like some sort of cleaning supplies, or maybe like batteries or like tape or something, weird and random like that. Yeah. Anyway, USAR insurance, $120 spent on insurance, $75 for our internet, $65 for my husband's cell phone, $56 went to gas for our vehicles, $27 went for our water softener rental, and $15.30 for filling up the water jugs in our water dispenser. Next up is groceries. We spent $538 on groceries this month. Yeah, there's that. I'm not going to go through each of those. Groceries are groceries. $138 went towards subscriptions. 56 of that were our monthly subscriptions that come out each month. And then 2 of yearly subscriptions came out this month. Next up was gifts. We spent $121 on gifts. $64 went to gifts for family. Like I said, my husband's birthday is in February, so some of this went towards his birthday, and then his sister is having a baby, so I put the shipping fee to send her some stuff. I threw that under gifts for family. I spent $32 on gifts for friends, and then $25 was donated to a charity. Our next spent category, I guess technically not spent, but it's spent in the eyes of YNAB because it got moved out of our account that's tracked here and into a different savings account. But $100 went towards the kids, the big boys, for their savings account. And then $57.95 spent on unexpected things, which was related to my husband's work. He bought some stuff for work, getting a haircut, because I start throwing his haircuts in with his work stuff. And then he had to buy something from the uniform store. I don't know what else to call that place for work. So yeah, and that's pretty much it for all of our spending for this month. Coming over to our little net worth tab. Ooh, we're up 5.4%. Woot woot. As of right now, we'll see how that changes. Hopefully keep it up. That'll be great, but we'll see. I just know that March is probably gonna get a little spendy because we plan on going to go visit the boys for their spring break in April. So March, I'm gonna be making purchases for that trip, and then the trip itself is gonna cost us some money. So we'll be spending money in April, and then in May they get out of school at the end of May, I believe. And so at some point in time, we're gonna have to have them flown out here for the summer. So I'm sure I'll be spending money again in May for that. And then of course summer is going to be here, so we're going to be wanting to do things and go out and have fun with the kids while they're visiting. So I'm sure June and July will be spendy too. And then hopefully come August, we can go back into like chill mode. So I think these next couple of months are going to be quite spendy. So I don't know how long this little net worth change is going to be on the up and up. It might be going down soon. We'll see though. But if I look at our income versus expense tracker over here, comparing to January looks crazy because we transferred in a bunch of money from. So all that makes like I mentioned earlier, we were moving money out of this account into my husband and into another account that my husband has, in order to invest into our Roth IRAs and stuff. So then my husband just gave me that money, gave me my half of what I needed to max out my Roth IRA, so it came back into this account. So that's why there's like this huge like $10,500 source of income that was really like, it was here before. It just got moved out and then it got moved back in. So just ignore that. But we got paid about the same amount of interest as we did last month. My husband's paycheck is essentially the same as it was last month. Subscriptions are the same. Just had a yearly subscription. These 2 yearly subscriptions come out this month. Looks like we spent a little less in groceries this month, but we also had 1 week less in February, so that probably has something to do with it, more than anything, since it was a shorter month by a couple days. So I had a little less days to spend more money for groceries. But I mean, overall, maybe I don't think I would have spent $200 in groceries for 2 days. So this looks like we came in under for groceries overall. We didn't buy salt this month, so this number is less than it was for our water softener. Insurance is the same, phones are the same, internet's the same. Drinking water, the price of drinking water has gone up, so I probably need to adjust this in the budget later, but I don't know exactly how much just yet, but that's going to need to be adjusted soon, I think. A little bit of money went out, less money went out for gas this month. I spent more for house stuff this month. But overall, our overall household spending is relatively the same-ish. Spent a little less money on the kids this month. That's because last month we did send some extra money to go towards their field trips. And I spent a little bit extra money on baby last month too. Spent less in unexpected things this month than we did last month. This is really wonky because we transferred out the money for the Roths contributions again. So yeah, anyway, just ignore that. Just ignore that. Definitely spent way more in fun money this month than we did last month. And we all know that has a lot to do with this line right here. That line right here. If it wasn't for that line right here, we probably would have been about the same normal amount of spending. But this Pokemon right here is a problem. Anyway, moving on. We're not gonna talk about that anymore. And then spend a little extra on gifts this month, which makes sense because, like I said, it's my husband's birthday this month. His sister's having a baby, and yeah, so a little bit more went out in gifts this month. But our net income was looking at $2,406 for the month. So yay, we love to see it. And yeah, so anyway, friends, that is basically where all of our money went for the month of February. That's how it's looking. I thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you are doing well. I hope your February went well, and I hope that March is even better. Everyone, please stay safe, happy, and healthy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.